when I was in jail, for those who visited me in my private conversations, even with people like Atia, I'd always advocated for school resumption. The whole thing about school boycott was short-termic. It wasn't something that was to exist in perpetuity. So, and I told people when I was in jail that I don't want to be seen as the leader who is, tying my release to kids going to school. So when I had the BBC interview, I said kids should go back to school. And I would always maintain that position. People shouted that I'd been bored over. But that is the wisest thing and the right thing any sane person would do. But I was disappointed because some leaders in the struggle, some of those who were involved, were the ones who were propagating this information. They were using their surrogates to attack my person. Whether I would like it or not, there was kind of a real or imaginary fear about me. And these personal attacks trying to bring my image into disrepute started since when I was in jail. What is happening now is the reverse. Our kids are going to school in East Cameroon. These kids are being francophonized. Okay? The culture, the things that we're thinking that we are protecting, we are losing it. The money that we used to bring back to the regions. So when the kids did Douala or Yaoundé, he or she would pay school fees in Sase. Not so, they will buy food around, they will spend some monies around the Southwest and the Northwest. It gave us money. But look at now, our parents are struggling to take kids to Douala, to send kids, go to schools in Douala and Bonaberi, English schools. They don't have space. These kids will come back after 5 or 6 years. What language would they understand? What culture would they understand? So to me, it's a no-brainer. Those who are advocating, are clamoring for kids not to go to school, they don't like this struggle as an individual. The only thing I need is peace, national dialogue, and reconciliation. But I'm open. If you invite me, I would go there. I'll give. If a few people have invited me, and I've given them my position. I know I've met somebody in government, and I looked at him in his eyes, and I told him that I will not stop criticizing the head of state if he keeps on doing things which, in my estimation, are wrong. But if he does things which are right, I'll praise him. Okay, I'm not a propagandist, but I would never betray my conscience because I want to please anybody. I've passed that stage and age in my life where I pamper people's ego. And if you follow one of my interviews, I said the same thing with the Prime Minister, that if I meet him, I would tell him the way it is. I will not sugarcoat it. I will not make him feel, I will not be rude. I will not be arrogant, but I would speak the language of the people. I also expect that those also who have taken up arms against government should also be ready to concede something. Because for us to move on the dialogue table, both parties have to concede something. Can we have a truce? Can we have a ceasefire for some time so that we see the good faith of government? Can government also decide that, okay, what we would do is that we would try as much as possible to release, again, some of the leaders, try to find a convenient way of doing things. But the leaders also will be ready also, for example, to encourage people to go to school, The AU is always a club for mostly dictators, for sit-tight leaders, for leaders who have taken their country hostages, for leaders who show complete disdain and disrespect for their people. So they say he who comes to equity would come with clean hands. Look at Central African region, for example. Who's going to talk to President Biya? Are their hands clean?